You've probably heard the word lazy in the staff room. Oh, this student is just lazy. Not a big deal, right? Well, actually, it is a big deal, and here's why. Lazy is an unhelpful word, and it keeps us from doing our jobs. I have 3 reasons why you might want to think twice about calling a student lazy. Number 1, lazy is actually pretty common. When we say a student is lazy, we mean that even though they can do the work, they won't. And this is, of course, a bad thing, especially in school spaces. But not using energy to do a task isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, we do it all the time. Something I learned about medieval shoes helped me to understand lazy a bit better. Most medieval shoes had soft bottoms. That means that everyone walked around like you would if you were walking across a dark room with Lego on the carpet. Carefully, with your toes pointed, to test the ground before you put your full weight on your foot. Stepping toes first allows you to test the surface for sharp stones, branches, or other objects. Apparently it's a good way to develop strong calf muscles, but we don't do it anymore because that kind of walking is effortful. So as soon as hard-bottom shoes became available, we took the easier way. And why wouldn't we? Does that mean we're lazy? Or does that mean that we make strategic decisions about our energy? Yeah, that sounds a bit better. And so maybe that's a better way to think of these students. They aren't doing the work, so let's figure out why. And that brings us to reason number 2. All behavior is communication. That means that even behavior that seems like laziness has a message for us. For example, you give instructions to a student and then come back 20 minutes later to find nothing written on the page. Lazy? Maybe. But a better explanation might be that the student has a learning disability, or ADHD, or is dealing with learned helplessness, or has complicated issues at home. Many of the difficulties faced by our students come across as laziness at first glance. So don't stop at lazy, keep thinking and working on how to help. And working on how to help brings us to the 3rd reason, which is we can't actually do much about lazy. Lazy is a word that we use when we're sure all of the blame is on the student. After all, what can we do with a student who's lazy? Not much, because the label lazy assumes that we've already done everything that we possibly could do to help the student. And it assumes that the student has all of the resources and skills needed to do the work, and it assumes there are no invisible disabilities or difficulties in play. And those are pretty big assumptions for us to make. The unfortunate truth is that we use the word lazy as a signifier that we are done trying to help the student. I know it can be infuriating to have a student not working, but remember that, just like your walking stance, students make strategic decisions about energy resources for reasons, and we need to help find out those reasons. There you go. I hope that helps.